Hi, party peeps. It's Sandra. Sandra from the house, your neurodivergent oracle and light bringer, highest path guide, joy reminder, self love reminder, person who reminds you of the beauty of life. Okay? Today, with this beautiful shade, there is no reason for that. It just happened. Okay? Today, I want to talk about. Where is it? I like cheese and I cannot lie. I literally have just like a slice of cheese lying here. I don't even have a plate for it. I'm gonna be that honest with you. It just lies on a piece of paper, my slice of cheese. And the reason for that is because I was eating cheese earlier, and as I was eating cheese, I was like, I like cheese and I cannot lie. And then I was like, I need to tell my family that, and you are now my family because I don't have a family anymore, okay? Well, I never really had one, to be honest. I mean, there were people I grew up around, but from where I'm at today, I'm like, well, I kind of have some ideas about what a family is supposed to be like and what values they bring, and the people that I grew up around don't fulfill that, okay? They are not the they don't carry the values that I desire and want and need from a family. So I'm looking for a new family, okay? So if you want to adopt me, you can send me an application. I'm not choosing just anyone, okay? Mm, Besides that, as I'm being guided to show up on YouTube to share the beauty of life and the joy of life, I just wanted to share my experience of enjoying cheese with you. And maybe you're going through hard times, okay? Maybe you're going through some really shitty experiences and it's really hard right now. So, my advice in this situation is eat some cheese, right? So, this is the end of this video. Goodbye. No, I mean, yeah, it kind of is my advice. Like, if you feel down, eat some cheese. I genuinely would recommend that, but it's probably something. It's probably not something that you need me to tell you. You probably already ate cheese. Who doesn't eat cheese when they feel bad? What's your favorite type of cheese? Let me know in the comments. Because this is the stuff that I would like to know from my family members. No, that is just, I mean, yeah, I do want to know that. I do want to know that about you, but this is not the reason why I'm here today. Today, I'm here to talk about the beauty of life, right? How great it is to be alive, right? That's what we do around here. And I have to laugh because I'm like, who am I to talk about this? Because there are definitely days for me where I'm like, I'd rather just float around in the ethers and just not be a human anymore. But I feel like that's also very human. That is the most human thing ever, to feel like you don't want to be a human anymore because everything is just overwhelming and hard. And uh, but at the end of the day, I mean, we are fucking grateful to be humans. I feel like, because if we didn't wake up tomorrow, then we'd probably be sad about that, right? So let's embrace the human experience because we're here now, right? Let's we better make the best out of it. So my dog, he's my best friend. He's literally my best friend, and I have no shame in admitting that. Like, he's also my only friend. And I also have no shame admitting that. I felt very weird about that for, I mean, I very much subconsciously felt weird about that for quite some time because I just felt like, you know what it's like, in the society where, like, if if you're a loner, if you or a person that's not liked by anyone, you think it's you. You think it's because you suck. You think it's because you're ugly or horrible to be around or bad or annoying or disgusting or stupid or just yeah, just an inconvenience. And no one really wants you, no one likes you, no one wants to be around you, and how could you not? How the fuck could you not think, well, of course it's gotta be me. So for the longest time I was very much questioning myself, which again, I mean, that was a very, very beautiful thing because it led me to, like, through a lot of despair, it led me to the realization that no, it's not me. I mean, I have my quirks, I have my stuff, just like everyone else does. And, but I fucking like myself. I mean, I fucking love myself, okay? Like, I love myself. I adore myself. I fucking adore myself. Like, I think I'm the coolest fucking person alive. And, like, I would fucking love to hang out with me. And for the longest time, though, like, that was not the case. Like, that, it was literally the opposite. Like, I would very much think, I would very much take on the belief system that I was projected onto because growing up, so I grew up in a toxic family system, in a dysfunctional family system, as the scapegoat of the family, as the black sheep of the family. And when you have the role, then you are always the bad guy, and everything that's wrong with the family, it's your fault. And you're the one that everyone points the finger at and be like, well, you are wrong, like, you, like, there is something wrong with you, and whatever is going on with your mental health has obviously to do with the fact that you are not quite right, that you are crazy, that you are sick, and so forth. And the rest of the family is obviously like, look, like, we're all doing great, and you are the one that is the troublemaker, the problem, right? So um growing up like this, like, I was told and taught these things all the time. And then, of course, you start believing them, especially when it's your family, the people that are closest to you, but just like in a physical sense, right? They are not really close to you emotionally whatsoever. um, but they tell you all of these things and all the time. Like, so you hear it from the people who are supposed to love you for who you are, the way you are. Just love you unconditionally, right? But they tell you how much you suck and how much you're the problem, and how that you should be different, because you are not the way that they want you to be. Although that's actually also not true, because they actually love for you to the way that they conditioned you to be, because you need to be that way so they come, like, they get away with looking better. So it's this very fucking absurd paradox thing that, on the one hand, they are accusing you of being a certain way and not the way that they want you to be, but on the other, they are literally the people who made you this way. um so it's a very sick thing. It's very fucked up. So of course I grew up believing that I was a piece of shit. Like, I would literally think I'm a piece of shit, and I would then very much try, I would always just try so hard to be liked. And that was me completely abandoning myself, because I would just put on all these different masks, right? I mean, I'm neurodivergent, so I was masking my whole life and pretending my whole life, which is so fucking exhausting. And I probably don't have to tell you that if you are also neurodivergent. Um, but yeah, um, so I just always try to really, really be liked because I felt so unloved. And so I just was looking for people to love me. And so I thought that I needed to be different, and I just around certain people I would be a certain way, so they would like me, right? But the thing is, because I abandoned myself so much, no one actually really ended up liking me on a deep level. I've had friends my whole life, up till like the last few years, and I would always be quite popular, really, but it was never real. And yeah, it was always fake because I would always be fake. And you can only have such deep relationships or such deep friendships as you know yourself. And when you don't allow yourself to be yourself, when you abandon yourself, your true self, for the sake of being liked, then they only can like the fake parts of you, right? And so they cannot, people cannot really love you, like you, the way you truly are, because you're not showing them who you truly are. So yeah, you might be popular and you might be liked, but you're not liked for the right reasons. So what's the point in that? Like, you still feel empty, you still feel unloved, you still feel not seen. And so don't do that. It's a waste of time, and it's just very painful, and it doesn't work. And so in the last few years, as I was starting to really, 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 really work on myself, I discovered all of the parts of me that I had abandoned, and I pulled them back in and I integrated them. And then the more I was integrating those parts of me that I had abandoned over all these years, I was like, oh, I'm actually pretty dope. And like, I love myself the way I am. And just because the people around me, and that was the actual very, very interesting thing, was that then, um the more I did that, the more my family repelled me, the more the bullying started to increase, the discard, the um abuse, just like uh increased, basically, because I was finding myself, and they didn't want that. Because when you're the scapegoat and you are healing and you become better and you start to realize, oh, I'm actually pretty awesome, uh then their whole idea, their illusion of their well curated illusion of what this family is like, crumbles. Because you have to be the scapegoat, you have to be the problem of family, so everyone can point the finger at you, right? But then when it turns out that you're actually pretty amazing, and when it turns out that you're not sick, when it turns out that you are not the problem, but it was always just the way you were treated that made you sick, and but then you're pulling yourself out of this, then everyone's like, no, 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 we cannot have this, we have to actually make sure you stay in the role that we gave to you. So that's really, 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 really hard. um so then my family members started to like truly abandon me, because, and it was just crazy, because the more I stopped abandoning myself, the more I was abandoned by my family. And subconsciously I knew that this would happen, and that's why I, this is on. Yeah. And that's why I was faking it my whole life, to not lose my family. But eventually it happened. So um I didn't want to talk about any of this. This always happens. I just get so sidetracked. Um I was talking about that I realized that I really like myself and I really love myself. And I actually wanted to talk about grief. Like, this is so annoying because the same fucking thing happened yesterday. In yesterday's video, I wanted to talk about this story, about the grief story that I was gonna tell you today, but then I got sidetracked. And so then I didn't talk about it. And now I feel like I also don't want to talk about it anymore because I'm already 18 minutes in. I just don't want to drag this on for too long. So, um, I'm gonna tell you the grief story tomorrow. Okay, trust me, I will do that. Well, no, wait. I don't want to make promises I cannot keep. That's another thing about self love. um the more you love yourself, the more you start really showing up for yourself and being true to yourself. That means you simultaneously stop abandoning yourself, and when you do that, um you also way more in integrity, and you don't want to make promises anymore that you might not be able to keep because you live in integrity, which feels very fucking good. um and so that's one thing that I just don't want to do anymore, to say that I'm gonna do something and then there is the chance of me not doing that. So I don't make promises anymore. I mean, unless I can truly fucking keep them. So in any case, so I might talk about the grief story tomorrow. I hope you still got something out of this video. Hopefully I said something that brought you some value. Because that is truly the intention for these videos. And it is to show a different perspective on things. And so I guess we need a little um coming back full circle kind of thing. Like, what's the beauty and what's the positive of being the scapegoat of the family and being conditioned to hate yourself? But it is truly the thing that that whole experience got me to love myself so deeply. And without that experience of having hated myself the whole my whole life, and having abused myself my whole life, and told myself that I was a piece of shit my whole life, and now to get to this point where I can truthfully, wholeheartedly say that I love myself so fucking much, and I'm the most important person in my life, and I trust myself, and I know there's just a beautiful life ahead. Like, there's no doubt about that for me, and it is because I like got to this level of self-love that I have now. And it I would have never gotten here if it wasn't for all of the mistreatment and stuff, because it was so bad that I was like, well, okay, like, I cannot live like this. Like, I cannot live like this. I can literally not live like this. Like, you cannot be a part of society when you go through life with this severe mental health issues. Like, you cannot function. You don't function. Because you're literally destroying yourself with your thoughts and your conditioning and your self-harming behavior. So at some point I was like, well, like, either I'm just gonna stay in this place of self-loathing for the rest of my life, or I'm gonna work on myself and turn it all around, to make my life a better one, because I always knew there was more. I always knew there's got to be more to life than this miserable experience that I was experiencing. And so I think that's why this whole self-hatred thing was a blessing in disguise, as everything always is. And that is really the truth. Everything always has two sides to the coin, and everything always, like, the shadow, the dark, the parts that are painful will always carry your biggest gifts. And that's why, like, literally nothing in life is there for you to suffer forever. You will suffer, but you're only supposed to suffer short term. Sometimes short term is a very long time. But the point is, you're not meant to suffer for the rest of your life. You're not meant to live a horrible life. You're not meant to live a life that's unfulfilled, where you're unhappy and that's just mediocre. You are destined to have a beautiful life. It's your birthright. It's your birthright to experience freedom, joy, abundance, love. You are a divine being of light. You're a divine spark of God, of the divine, of the universe. You are made out of unconditional love, and you are here to experience the human experience in all its facets. And if you only reside in the parts that are the parts of struggling and suffering and the horrible experience of life, well then you only seeing half of it, right? You're not seeing the full picture. So if you are currently suffering, know that there's more. Know that you're meant for more. Know that there is so much love and joy and happiness out there, and it is meant for you, because life is not just suffering. Again, it's part, but if it wasn't for that part, then we wouldn't get to the other part. So that's the whole reason why we're here, why we're doing this. We're not just here to uh always have the same experience, because how boring would that be, right? We're here to learn, we're here to grow, we're here to evolve. And for that, we have to go through the shitty bits, but we also at some point have to fucking leave the shitty parts. Like, we just have to, not the shitty parts of us, because we have to integrate them. We don't want to leave them anywhere, okay? I mean the shitty parts of life, the shitty, the apathy, the self-loathing, um the sadness, the grief, the betrayal trauma, the disappointment, the shame, the guilt, the anger. Like, we don't want to carry that for the rest of our lives, do we? I mean, we can choose to do so, but I highly recommend not to do that. I highly recommend to eat some cheese, get some dopamine, because if I'm not mistaken, that's what happens when you eat cheese. It releases dopamine, but I could be terribly wrong about that. Um, and also, please, like, I'm not encouraging anyone to like get yourself a quick fix and a quick high or anything like that. Okay, but honestly, like, do whatever the fuck you want. If that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do. But I'm definitely not encouraging anyone to do anything. Full stop. Like, do whatever you want, and that's literally what I mean. Just about anything. Like, what I'm talking about here is literally just sharing my own experience of life and what helped me and how I got to where I am now, in hopes that it will be helpful to other people. But how you get there, I don't know if your path is gonna be anything like mine, because we're all so different. We're all so different. And every path is so different, and only you know what's best for you. And so I'm not here to tell anyone what to do, but I'm here to just hopefully be of help to see life in a different way. So the path gets a little bit clearer and a little bit lighter for you. Okay, this is where I'm gonna end this video now, way later than I anticipated. And once again, I didn't talk about that thing, but but whatever. Um, I'm sending you so much love, and I'll be back tomorrow, okay? I love you, fam. Bye.